Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Be ready for school with the coolest deals from Courts. Free gifts with your back-to-school purchases. Plus, up to 50% off cell phones, computers, printers, televisions, and more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit on 3 to 36 months credit plans. Save big with great deals and head back to school in style. Only from Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. The swearing in of the cabinet ministers and the unveiling of ministerial portfolios will take place on Saturday, August 13th during the inaugural ceremony. The ceremony will be held at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium at 4 p.m. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew was officially sworn in as the Federation's fourth Prime Minister on Saturday, August 4th at a brief ceremony at Government House. The new cabinet members were elected during the August 5th general election. Monday, August 8, 2022 was declared a holiday to celebrate the victory of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party candidates at the polls. The St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce has congratulated the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party on its success at the August 5th general elections. In a statement issued on Sunday, the Chamber said, quote, "Special congratulations are extended to the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, leader of the SKN Labour Party, and his parliamentary representatives for leading the party to victory at the polls and on his subsequent appointment as Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis." The statement continued, quote, "The SKN-CIC looks forward to working with Prime Minister Drew and his government as we seek to continue the recovery from the devastating impact of the pandemic that it has had on both the economy and the people of the Federation," end quote. The Chamber statement concluded by wishing Prime Minister Drew every success in the pursuit of his party's plans and programs during its tenure in government. More congratulatory messages are pouring in for Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew from regional counterparts. Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, said, quote, "On behalf of the OECS, I extend sincere congratulations to you and the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party on your victory at the August 5th, 2022 national elections. This electoral victory clearly demonstrates the confidence of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis in your vision for the progress and prosperity of the country," end quote. Meanwhile, the government and people of Nicaragua said, quote, "The President and Vice President of Nicaragua have extended best wishes to the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew. President His Excellency Daniel Ortega Saavedra and First Lady and Vice President His Excellency Rosario Murillo said, at the beginning of your new mandate as Prime Minister, we convey to you your new government and to the brotherly people of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis our best wishes for peace, prosperity and good living as we reiterate our unwavering commitment to continue strengthening the fraternal bonds of solidarity and cooperation that unite our peoples and governments," end quote. Premier of Montserrat, Honorable Joseph Farrell, said, quote, "The pleasure is mine to congratulate you and the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party on your decisive victory at the recent general elections. I wish to assure you of the continued friendship and support of the government and people of Montserrat as you and your government work tirelessly for the progress and prosperity of your people and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis." And finally, Secretary General of CARICOM, Carla N. Barnett, said, quote, "The Caribbean community looks forward to continued contribution of St. Kitts and Nevis in the advancement of regional integration under your guidance as Prime Minister. In this regard, you will also assume the role in the CARICOM quasi-cabinet of lead head with responsibility for issues pertaining to human resource development, health, and HIV/AIDS, end quote. Regional analysts have said that the opposition parties of PAM and PLP have uncertain futures ahead following their defeat at the polls on August 5th. In an interview on The Narrative, regional pollster Peter Wickham said both parties underperformed at the polls, but expectations weren't as high for the newest party, PLP, when compared to the long-standing People's Action Movement.
PAM took a major lash, and PLP less so. But the thing with the PLP is that the expectations were more conservative, since the PLP ultimately only came into existence 2 elections ago. It came into existence and was able to control the prime ministership in the first election. In the second election, it expanded its party support, gained an additional seat in the second election. So in its third election, it faltered, but ultimately, it wasn't coming from a 20, 25, 26-year-old history like the People's Action Movement.
He said the future of PAM relies on an effective leader that will pull the party out of its slump.
The question now we will ask is whether or not PAM will be able to bring itself back together, bearing in mind that it has a leader that has been woefully unsuccessful. And then the other 2 leadership options both lost the seat. So the question is, who will lead the who will lead PAM, and what is the future for PAM? And one could argue that the PLP is in pole position to be the alternative party in St. Kitts and Nevis, which is a very, very interesting consideration.
Meanwhile, Barbadian political strategist Hartley Henry said the election results were a vote against Dr. Timothy Harris more so than a vote against PLP. And following the results in constituency number 7, he's questioning whether Dr. Harris should contest his seat in the next election.
To move from 80 plus percentage of the popular vote in your constituency to just over 50% is not at all, that's a wake-up call. And I believe that if his opponent in the last election is maintained and sustained and enabled by the incoming government, I believe that constituency could very well become a marginal constituency next election.
Political strategist Hartley Henry. After the break, NIA injects millions into NEVLEC to provide consumers with relief on electricity fuel surcharge, and the Traffic Department urges the general public to obey traffic lights and signs. Stay with us.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. Hon, I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today.
Mommy, where did you get all these groceries from?
When my mom was a child, my grandma was only able to provide just what they needed. When my mom got older, she was then able to provide what they needed and some. But now, with FlexPay, I am able to get everything we need and lots more with cashback.
Wow, Mom, I hope this never ends.
For the last 25 years, SL Hospice Company Limited has given customers millions in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cashback.
It's powerful, it's fast, it's my type of cricket.
Bring it on!
The 60 is exciting. It sounds like boom blast.
It's going to be a game full of strategy. Pollard, fast-paced, very rust, action-packed. Bring your A game.
Great for the viewer.
I'll be waiting.
People are going to come out swinging from the goal.
Come on, what more can Caribbean people ask for?
See you in St. Kitts for Cricket's powered game.
I cannot wait for it to start.
Are you ready for the 60?
Welcome back. The Nevis Island Administration has committed to a monthly subvention to the Nevis Electricity Company Limited (NEVLEC) in order to cap the increasing fuel surcharge on electricity bills in an effort to bring relief to consumers on the island. Premier Honorable Mark Brantley made the announcement recently, noting that the government is aware of complaints made by citizens and residents on Nevis about the high cost of electricity, pointing out that the increase in fuel surcharge on NEVLEC electricity bills is a direct result of the rising cost of fuel globally. The Premier nevertheless apologized to the people of Nevis for the financial pressure they are experiencing because of this. He said the Cabinet will provide the subvention to NEVLEC for 3 months in the first instance, and then will make an assessment with regard to providing that additional money to the electricity company to keep the 65 cents cap on fuel surcharge in place. Premier Brantley has assured that the NIA remains committed to pursuing renewable energy resources, including wind and geothermal energy. The police are urging drivers to follow traffic signs as they help ensure everyone is safe from potential driving hazards. This according to Sergeant Sophia Henry from the Traffic Department during ZIZ Radio's program Policing with You on Wednesday. She added that there are also signs that reinforce traffic laws, which include traffic lights. Sergeant Henry said there are still motorists who are not obeying the traffic signs and lights.
I want to talk about the traffic lights again, because persons are still running the red lights, people are still turning when they're not supposed to do a right turn, and these things can cause accident. Up to some day ago, I was in the gut and a bus driver came from east to west. You know, you're not supposed to turn right up College Street, and he turned right. So these are the things we are facing with the general public and those who drive. So I'm asking persons, please remember there are no right turn at some of the traffic lights. For example, if you're traveling from west to east on Keon Street, when you get by College Street Gut, you cannot take a right turn down into College Street.
She also stated that if a motorist encounters cones in the road, they should refrain from parking in those areas.
Also, when you see there are cones in the street, they are placed there for a purpose. Especially if we are having a function and we know the traffic is going to be congested in that area, we cone off the area. We don't want any parking there. So when the cones are there, don't say, oh, I see somebody park there, so I park there. Two wrong doesn't make a right. If you see the cones, you know the cones are there for a purpose. Do not park in those areas. Otherwise, you will face the penalty.
That was Sergeant Sophia Henry of the Traffic Department. French Institute Alliance Française in St. Kitts is inviting persons who would like to have dirt up your fingertips, plants as best friends, or like to wander around outside and discover nature to take part in their project entitled My Jardin Bocaille, which loosely translates to My Backyard Garden. Marine Monco, director of Alliance Française, spoke about the project in English and French.
August, and the workshop is about gardening and learning about plants and aromatic plants, medicinal plants. This program is part of the Jeff Small Grant Program fund that we got to process the transition of the green transition of the Alliance Française and the sensitization of gardening, backyard gardening, learning about plants, natural solutions that we can have. Donc le Jardin Bocaille programme, c'est un programme d'une semaine qui a lieu à l'Alliance Française, mais aussi à l'extérieur, avec des professionnels qui apportent un enseignement des plantes aromatiques, médicinales, le lemongrass ou le thym. Donc ce sont des plantes qui sont traditionnellement utilisées dans la Caraïbe, soit pour faire des infusions, soit pour cuisiner, et donc qui est important de promouvoir dans l'utilisation d'un petit potager, enfin un potager familial pour chaque maison.
The director spoke of the benefits of the workshop for students who are on vacation.
All right, the program is a weekly program, so it's like from the 15th to the 19th of August, from 9 to 4 p.m. We have, like, the participant will get food and drinks as well as a stipend of 20 EC dollar. So it's really beneficial for all of the youth during the holidays. They get a training and they get a little stipend, they get to learn. So it's a great initiative. We are really happy to be able to promote this kind of activities with the support of the JEF Small Grant Program UNDP. Donc c'est un programme qui dure une semaine et qui a lieu du lundi 15 août au vendredi 19 août, de 9h du matin à 4h de l'après-midi. Et les participants auront une petite bourse de 20 dollars par jour, ainsi que des rafraîchissements et les lunchs.
The program begins on Monday, August 15th, with an application deadline of Friday. Ms. Monco explained the application process.
Les applications doivent avoir lieu jusqu'à vendredi, ce vendredi. Et il y a un lien que nous publions via l'Alliance française. Vous pouvez le voir sur Facebook ou par WhatsApp. Vous pouvez nous contacter sur notre ligne 465-9415 ou 667-9019 et vous pourrez avoir les informations nécessaires. Les applications vont se clôturer vendredi. So the application will end this Friday and you can get all of the information about how to apply on our Facebook, the Facebook of the Alliance Française de St. Kitts and Nevis, or by calling us at 465-9415 or 667-9019. The applicants, we are having a group of 10 applicants. Well, we have 10 spaces for that program. The applicants should be between 8 and 25 years old. Les participants doivent avoir entre 8 et 25 ans et ils doivent appliquer avant vendredi. Il y a 10 places disponibles.
The Alliance Française is located at number 1 Orchid Street, Greenlands. Coming up in regional news, residents fear long-term effects of Cuba oil depot fire. The details when we come back.
What's your reason?
They have a nice selection of products that we also enjoy, and our children especially love the chips, so that's why we come here.
What's your reason?
I find the stuff here is more cheaper and it's clean.
There's always a great reason to shop at Hortsport's Value Mart IGA.
Visitor here, and I love the supermarket.
Hortsport's Value Mart IGA.
It's more convenient for me, just because I live there at Canary. Shop smart, value mart.
There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit or black cards can do.
Mimi, what's that song?
It can get you out of a pickle.